Good afternoon. So we were originally going to start in about 4 or 5 minutes, but what we're going to do is start now and we're going to do introductions. We want to see who's here. This is our second day. I know we have a list of, people who've attended, but we just want to kind of see who's in the room with us today. All right, so we're going to do our introductions and then we would like to go from you on back, across the back way, and back up. Okay?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tanya Watkins, and I'm from Olive Harvey College. I am the Director of Student Development and Projects.
Hello, my name is Oni Riley. I'm the Executive Director of WEI at Wilbur Wright College in Chicago.
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michelle DeVore, and I'm a director at Illinois Central College in the Workforce Development Division.
Good afternoon. Ooh, my voice left you all. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Brittany Strickland. I'm the Vice President Community Manager for JP Morgan Chase Bank. Thank you. Thank you. Did you say go this way or this way?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Patrice Jarrett, and I'm from Malcolm X College, and I am the Director of Project Impact.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Zenzele Pearson. I'm the new job developer for WEI's Project Evolve at Olive Harvey College.
Wow. Miss Pearson, my name is Paul Pearson, and maybe we're related, right? My name is Paul Pearson. I am a consultant with the Micro Certification Consortium, an organization that intersects between community colleges and employers to get folks trained and staffed to get into the workforce. And I'll hand it over to Billy.
Good afternoon. I'm Billy Diaz, the Associate Dean of Career Programs at Wilbur Wright College, and I have the pleasure of working with Oni Riley.
Good afternoon. My name is Tia Randall from Heartland Community College, Director of the Career Center there.
Hello, my name is Kelsey Anello. I'm also from Parkland Community College, and I am the program manager for the PATH program there.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Van Etten. I'm from Rock Valley College. I am the job placement specialist.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Victor Sanchez. I serve as Associate Dean of Career Programs and Continuing Education at Olive Harvey College.
Good afternoon. I'm Brian Canettle. I'm the president at Wabanzi Community College.
Hi, everybody. Michelle A. Smith, Vice President of Workforce Solutions at Harper.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Hollingsworth, President, Olive Harvey College.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Potts with Danville Area Community College, Director of Advisement and Counseling, Transfer Articulation Coordinator, and Chief Diversity Officer.
That was a long title, right? Good afternoon. Rhonda Hardiman, Director of Workforce Partnerships at Malcolm X College.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Thomas. I'm the new president at Blackhawk College.
Good afternoon. I'm Kathy Olson Tracy. I am the Title II State Director at the Illinois Community College Board, and I want all of you to partner with our adult ed programs so that we can serve our students in the best way possible. And I'm here to help.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Kara Schmidt, and I'm a Career Services Coordinator at Illinois Central College.
Hello, my name is Crystal Sewell. I am a Workforce Equity Initiative Coordinator at Illinois Central College.
I'm Shamir Brown, work at Parkland College, focus on helping ESL and non-traditional students navigate the post-secondary arena.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Tremel Moody. I'm the Associate Dean of Enrollment Management at Wilbur Wright College.
Hello, I am Shani Sperry. I'm the Assistant Dean of First Year Experience and Transition at Wilbur Wright College.
Howdy, Matthew Tapey. I'm Director of Grants for City Colleges of Chicago.
Hi, everybody. Greetings. Dave Gerzatis, Dean of Advanced Manufacturing at Richard J. Daley College.
Good afternoon. I'm Angela Bolden. I'm the Executive Director of LIST Central Illinois. We are a nonprofit financial institution that focuses on community development, and we support workforce initiatives.
Hello, I'm Debbie Edelman, Director of Development at Lewis and Clark Community College in Southwestern Illinois. And that means fundraising, so new to the workforce arena.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tawanda Williams. I'm the Workforce Equity Transition Coordinator at Richland Community College. To make it simple and short, I'm the coordinator over the CDL program.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Bainey with Kaskaskia College. I'm the WEI Grant Lead and Regional Director of our Education Centers.
Hi, Dane Mazagato, Director of Workforce Development at Joliet Junior College.
I thought I was going to be the last one. I thought you say the best for last. I guess it's Carmen. But anyhow, my name is Tara Lindsay, and I'm the Assistant Program Officer at LISC.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carmen Furtado, and I'm Manager of Community Outreach at Illinois Central College.
Thank you. We had about 2 or 3 other folks come in. I was being observant. Starting with my president.
Ione, David Potesh, President of Wright College.
I am the CEO and president of I Am Able Center for Family Development on the west side of Chicago, and I'm also the new chair of the Micro-Credentialing Consortium in Chicago that's going over the state of Illinois.
Hi, LaCoya Harris here with the Micro-Credentialing Consortium, focusing on job placement in support of the WE.
Okay, was that it? All right, I try to be thorough, you know. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Let's see where we at. All right, so the introductions only took about 3 minutes over, so I'll jump right in. Okay, so the name of our session is Collaborative Partnerships Yielding Results. That's gonna be a lot. All right, I hope y'all ready to take notes. So I'll start by saying, so under WEI, you know, you can see what our goal is for the most part. We have had so many conversations about barriers and the needs of our students. Just knowing that depending on what a student is going through, if they're not able to get, you know, bus passes, these are the things that prevent them from attending college, going to work, you know, successfully completing, right? And so we do our best to try to meet those needs, but we can only do so much, okay? So this session is gonna be heavily based on how we partner and collaborate with community-based organizations, so externally, but also internally, okay? So partnering with 3 to 5 community-based organizations who also have shared values in understanding the importance of having access to resources and support services. Shared values is key, right? For us, because we want the same thing, student success. That's what we want. That's our goal. That's what we're striving for. And so we have to be able to have an understanding. And so some of the things that we, for the most part, do, and I'll just try to be a little more specific and say, when we're talking about community outreach and what that actually means, we have a dynamic group of recruiters at Wright. They do their job and they do their job well. They go out into the schools, they're in the schools, they're all over. But with WEI, one of the things that I've been able to bring to light is that there are these pockets in the city of Chicago where these initiatives, specifically like violence prevention initiatives, are ran. And so it's a previous area that I've spent a lot of time in. And so I'm also a research person. I know a lot of data. I, for the most part, know that 60% of a lot of those participants, they've been assessed, they've been worked with, And they themselves have identified that they are interested in post-secondary. So I said to myself, I don't necessarily have to go into the schools because I know our recruiters are going to do that. Let me do community outreach. Let me be visible. Let me go into these spaces where I know populations are being served. They've been working with these organizations for I don't know how long. And let's partner. Let's work together, right? So monitoring how we connect and engage with students through our case management model. When I talked about a shared value, that's exactly what I meant. How do you do case management at a community college? Easy. First, you got to find somebody with the skill set who knows what that is. I have a heavy background in social work. And so what I've brought to the table is a lot of what I've used in those spaces, working in child welfare, working in other Chicago public schools. I basically took all those skills and transferred it at Wright. So now I'm gonna go up and talk to the student. They're not just coming in and going to class. They're gonna have a one-on-one with me. They're gonna have a one-on-one with their workforce success coach. You guys may have seen him floating around. His name is John Hennessy. He's awesome. They're gonna tell us about what's going on with them. Miss Oni, I barely made it today. Miss Oni, I'm hungry. Like, we got some chips in here, whatever, right? It's just those conversations that you have up front to let somebody know that you see them, you hear them, and that you know that they exist. And whatever it is that they possibly may need support, you're there for that. And so that's case management. It's basically work that we all have been doing. We've never put the name case management to it. That's what it is. And it makes a difference, trust me, it does. So ensuring that our partnerships are fitting and meaningful to our students, it needs to make sense, right? So one of our partners in North Lawndale, they work with the students that we get a whole year before we see them. They're taking them through cognitive behavior therapy. They're taking them through trauma-informed training. They're doing all of these things already to basically prepare the students for the work world or post-secondary. So once we get them, which is what I call, like a soft handoff, my colleague would pretty much talk about what that is. Once we get them, it's almost easy from that point. The community-based organizations are already doing a lot of the work before they even come into our building. So one of the pluses of working with and partnering with community-based organizations. Positively impacting the experience of students, from beginning to end, right? From beginning to end. And then we make sure that we actually invest time and spend time building a relationship with our community-based organizations. We do the most. And when I tell you we do the most, I don't let a week go past without us touching base with our community partners. I do weekly calls, right? We're on those calls. David will tell you, right? We're on those calls. We're talking about what's going right, what's not going so well, how can we improve? We're making sure that we're all on the same page about how this student is making progress. And I'll get a little bit more into why so much of that communication. I'm going to talk about these cohorts that we have set up. Why is it important and how is this effective? So again, we intervene. Once we're talking to each other, we know what's going on, right? We had a student miss 5 classes. We're like, where is he? Working with a partner, we found out he was incarcerated. He did not finish, but he recently got out and came right back to us and said, I want to try again, I want to start over. It was apparently something he had done and it kind of like caught up with him, so I just said, I'm grateful that you came back. Clearly we're doing something right. Okay, you can go. So really quickly, more into our outreach and recruitment efforts. Again, like I said, we have a dynamic team that's working in the schools, that's pulling students out. It's not the problem of getting the students, it's really being intentional with WEI about the deliverables that are there right in our face. You all heard a lot about the statistics, the disparities, those things are real. And so we want to combat that. And so Again, what our partners tend to do, specifically around in the violence prevention world, they tackle violence, shootings, and homicides in the neighboring communities where our college is. So that's North Lawndale, that's Austin, and definitely Humboldt Park, where one of our sites is. Our partners create pathways for better life outcomes. Pathways, right? That's the key word, because we now are the educational pathway. There are so many community-based organizations assessing, coming up with resources and needs, and they need us. They need the opportunity that exists under WEI. Promote long-term safety and opportunities in Chicago's most impoverished communities. I think that pretty much speaks for itself, especially when you see the rate of completers that we're seeing. We're seeing people come, we're seeing people engaged, and they're interested. And we are seeing the success for WEI, so it's working. Okay, I'm gonna start talking really, really fast now. Okay, so again, just emphasizing, why we're strategic in like our community outreach, focusing on highly concentrated areas on both the South and the West Side. We do have students who come from out South. They are participating in these programs and they come to our campus. That's dedication. The majority, again, are violence involved. They've had backgrounds. They are looking for something else. They're looking for that next best thing. They're showing us because they're coming and they're engaged. The staff at the community-based organizations, again, they've been working with these students and participants. They call them participants, we call them students. But they basically vet them for us. When they're working with them, they say, you'll call me Miss Oni, I got 10 for you. Like, I have a waiting list. I have a waiting list. FY23, a waiting list, because I'm like, I'm almost at my numbers. I don't know if I can take 20 now, but let me talk to this person at this college. So here's the part where we start collaborating with each other, because now I'm gonna call Olive Harvey or Malcolm X and say, hey, we got 7 or 8, can you get a cohort going? We wanna make sure, because that demand is there, that we're able to meet that need. So we're starting to work more together and have conversations about that as well. Again, we have become the educational pathway. I think that's just the most fabulous thing for us under WEI, because we know that need has always been there. We just couldn't figure out how to do it, but we have figured out how to do it. That's my last one, right? Yes, it is, right? Yes. Okay. So Skip, yep. Some of those, all the same. Cohort-based approach. This is my last thing. So what I mean by cohort-based approach is the targeted community-based organizations that we are working with, when they start working with the participants, these participants are working together in a cohort style. So this is also the shared values. We are mimicking what they've already put in place in their service delivery. We're able to be really flexible at Wright with our faculty. I mean, they're awesome. We have a cohort that's from 4 to 8. Is it 4 to 8 for manufacturing on Fridays and Saturdays? So that's not easy to pull off. But again, the dedication, people are interested in, what we can do better. And once we find out what's working, we do it. Now, why 4 to 8 specifically for that population? For those who don't know, in high crime areas, that tends to be the time of the day where a lot of shootings take place. So now we're pulling them off the street and we're keeping them engaged in, something productive, getting rid of that idle time. All right, that's my piece. Thank you.
So my part is talking about our employee partners. So once we have gotten them through the community-based organizations that are getting them mentally prepared for what's coming next, then to the educational part. We're continuing doing the mental stability part, letting them know like, hey, these are some of the things that might come up. This is how you handle this. This is how we're gonna move forward. And then now we're gonna go into getting you all employment. You all have now gotten you all certificates. You all are ready to go into the workforce. Now what? So some of the ways that we prepare at Olive Harvey College, our students is having different functions with the employers. Let's do that initial engagement. 3 of them that we have done this year has been Lunch with the Pros. Lunch with the Pros consisted of a panel of all the industries that we cover at Olive Harvey College. The employers were in the front. They were letting the students know, hey, this is what we're looking for. This is what we want. This is what we're trying to achieve. And we already know that you all are taking the first steps because you all are here with us. You all have taken the classes to get that completion done. So after the panel was finished, then we had tables set up where each one of our industry partners will sit at the tables with those students that are in those industries to talk. It wasn't any formal type of interview process, but it was getting the conversation started. Because a lot of our students are first year experience, and then they're the first ones that are going into an actual career. And that's different than, I just need to go get a job. It's definitely different. Party with a Purpose was our Mardi Gras themed event this year that we had. Was a huge turnout, and it was all the industries that we cover in the college. And it wasn't a formal, once again, setting, but they got to meet with the employers. They got to actually conversate, have personal conversations, just to see how they were thinking and how they, get that feel. Sometimes you need to get that personal feel with the person before you sit to a formal conversation. Because everybody is not a good interview person. I know I'm not. I'm happy I just got the job at Olive Harvey College, okay? So I tend to get nervous, but sometimes when you have that initial one-on-one and you can feel the energy, when you get to that formal conversation, that formal, employment interview, you're a little bit more comfortable. And then you have already had that conversation to know what they're looking for. So let me think about my key points. The last one was our completion event, where we still had employers. And this is where, okay, here's my resume. I'm ready. When can we set up that interview? And then our employers, we had tables to the side where if they wanted to do an on-the-spot interview with our students right then and there, they had the ability to do that right then and there and move them on to the next phase. There are different ways that we get our employee partners. I will say 75% of the time, it is that warm handoff from our community-based organizations that we work with, that they're already connected with employers, they're already helping our students, so they kind of know who to send who where. So we do get a lot of employee partnerships through warm handoffs. Then my team has started doing cold calling, because we also, besides the major employers that sometimes our students get intimidated about, the Amazons and the Schneiders, okay, they might want to start off at a smaller company, get their feet wet, just know what the industry is doing before they go off to some of those major corporations. So we have started cold calling smaller mom and pops, as they say, companies that are still looking to hire some of our students that already have the skill set. And then we also have employer-initiated contacts through, they're calling us because they see that we are offering these short-term certificate programs to our students. And they're like, hey, can we get some of those students that you all are training? And these are some of the employers that we like to highlight at Olive Harvey College. Skills for Chicagoland's Future, CRC, and Illinois Equity Staffing. Each one of these employers are geared towards the industries that we do cover at Olive Harvey College. Some of those industries are, of course, cannabis with the Illinois Equity Staffing, automotive, diesel, technology, aviation technology. Our CDL program is massive. It's always a line of students that want to come to our CDL program, because that is, to them, one of the quickest way to make the most amount of money at a faster rate. So they go through, that is a 16-week process as well. We also cover cybersecurity, software development, and supply chain management. I talk faster than Oni, so this is my last slide.
Okay, so following Chicago is always tough, but I'm from Illinois Central College, so I get to sleep at home while I'm coming to these things, so that's exciting. But we have about a 10-county district, Peoria County, Tazewell, Woodford. If you look at the ICCB map, it looks really big, so it's geographically very large. So that drives some unique challenges for us. Related to transportation and just time and class scheduling and things like that. And so here I did want to share just a few statistics from our program. We have helped over 800 students since we started with WEI. And you can see we have 72% for our African American participant rate. And I think it's a 72% for our employment rate. So that is not a typo because I checked it like 5 times. So I'm like, really? Exact same percentage? That's crazy. And then you can see over our 4-year span, I did all of them, and it's about $19.23 an hour, which at this point does meet that 30% above. So that's always a good thing. And then there you can see our programs, and you guys can read slides. I won't read you the slides, but we have programs in both manufacturing and information technology, but then we also have our health career programs, and we have CDL as well. And I'm just going to say Crystal is our CDL person. So when you were like, I think we're booked until October, right? We have no openings in our CDL classes till October, and ours are 4 weeks. So we're rotating every 4 weeks. So agree with you. CDL is very, very, very popular. And then we do something called workforce readiness. We will get our target audience coming in, and as we take them through the process, we identify that there may be some gaps that exist, that they aren't quite ready to go into our credit programs. So whether it's math or reading, sometimes it's social emotional learning, sometimes it's computer literacy. It kind of depends on where they want to go. But we have these great non-credit programs that run between 6 to 8 weeks. We upskill them. We spend time in essential employability skills like decision making and time management and goal setting and all sorts of things. It does run. People are always like, how do you get people in there? But it does run typically 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., either Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday. But it gives us the ability to really focus on helping them prepare to be successful as they go on into those credit courses. Or some of them go straight into employment because we're able to partner with employers who will hire them. So that when you see workforce readiness, that's what that is. It's a key cornerstone of our WEI program. And it's actually been replicated into some of our other grants, and we're using it in health careers now. We're doing it pretty throughout our grant programs. And then Kara, who introduced herself, she's with Career Services. So that is another key piece of our programs with our WEI. She works very heavily in the manufacturing and the health careers, 2 of our biggest ones, and helping make those connections. We run specialized job fairs that invite employers in to really focus on just welders or just CNAs or what, and that has yielded great results in connecting our WEI students to employers. So that's just kind of a high level who we are and what we do. So I want to talk a little bit about our relationships with our CBOs. We all have relationships with community-based organizations, and you can see on the right side, those that are listed are ones that we have what I would call a formal relationship with. We signed an MOU with them. We specified exactly how we want them to interact with them and what services they're going to provide. But that's just a drop in the bucket compared to what we do. We are connected with so many different CBOs, so many faith-based organizations that are just there to help us. We have a great community outreach manager in Carmen, and she makes those connections. And then we have a dedicated community outreach manager for WEI. Her name is Janice. She's wandering around. If you can find her, I encourage you to talk to her. But they really have that reach into the community. They know who we should be connecting with so that we can find those people who maybe never even thought they could ever come to college, right? So through those relationships and getting to know and going out to where our audience is rather than waiting for them to find us, because that's never going to work, right? It really helps us get to where we need to go. So there's some, again, I'm not going to read you a slide. There's some statistics. These are the types of referrals and types of assistance that our CBOs offer. We are very big into referrals because we can't pay for rental assistance, but we have connections to organizations that can. Something that has become, I would say, I'm looking at prevalent in our strategy now is reaching out to reentering adults. So again, that was something that we didn't really do early in WEI proactively, but now it's great. One of my managers and Carmen, they're going out into the transition centers and they're doing info sessions and they're talking to them and they're sharing about WEI. And then for the college, it's great because maybe they don't want to do one of the programs that's in WEI and we're like, oh, well, we got these other grants. So we can help them, you know, besides that. So, I mean, there's been a lot of services that have been provided, a lot of students that have been helped. And so, so those are our external partnerships. Now I want to talk a little bit about our internal partnerships because we would not be successful if we did not have all of these groups to work with. So, so the Academic Support Center, we have a wonderful group of people, I'm sure all the colleges do, but we not only send our students there, we take them on tours during the readiness because, again, they don't know what they don't know, right? So we have the manager of the Academic Support Center come in during an orientation, right, Crystal? Okay, Crystal runs orientation. So the manager comes in and first of all advocates for the service. Then we take them on the tour. We show them where it is. Hey, go here. Do you need help? And with this next cohort, we're actually inviting tutors to come into the class and be in a couple, 3 days a week. We're sending them to Pekin. They're going to be in any of our East Peoria. So we really make that accessible to help our students be successful. We also make sure that our credit students who maybe don't start in readiness have all the same information. Educational Foundation, if there is something a student needs that we can't provide through one of our grants, we have a great partnership with our Educational Foundation manager, and she is very quick to come up with a gas card or find a referral or find a scholarship, or sometimes as they're transitioning out of WEI and they're not quite sure how they're going to pay for things, we make sure that they're getting connected and getting what they need so that they don't just stop. Inside Track. I want to talk about Inside Track. Anybody heard of Inside Track? Okay, Inside Track is a great organization, started in our advising team. And everybody on the, I think it was, ended up being everybody, all of our student success advisors got certified. And it's a consistent way to work with students so that we can come across, you know, so we're all having the same type of messaging so that we're working with students in a similar manner. Well, I went, hey, we talk to students. Hey, I want my staff to get trained too. And 2 certified people are sitting back there. They're both certified. And we really actively did that for all of our coordinators. Anybody who's student facing, because guess what? They're not just working with student success advisors, they're working with our staff too. So now that student experience is just a more positive and more consistent message. I'm trying to see, I know that I'm going over. We work with our marketing team, obviously. Got to get the word out. Admissions is in part of our marketing division. Working with all of our recruiters. I'm with you. Awesome recruiters. Couldn't do what we do without our recruiters. And then we also have a group called Student Life who help knock down barriers of food pantries. Just things that are going on, we can refer them to Student Life. So again, when somebody comes in as a WEI student, they have full access to everything that ICC has to offer. We also have counseling available short-term through ICC, but we are able to make those referrals. So sometimes we find ourselves with some people who are struggling a little bit with that side of life, especially after COVID. And so we are fortunate that we actually partner with an organization that we can make longer term referrals to, and then we can also use our ICC internal organization to help with that as well. And that is my last slide, I believe. So if anybody, questions, he's gonna give us a mic because we need to have mic. Don't ask a question without a mic. Okay, we have 10 minutes. So questions?
When you partner with somebody or trying to establish a partnership, right, with an entity outside of the school, who should the onus be on to establish what that partnership would be? Because I've noticed where it's like they kind of want to sit back and let you like put it all together and then just sort of bring them a finished product, but they're actually receiving something on the other end too. So how do you feel about how that should go?
So I guess I'll answer that first. Well, with the partnerships, especially with the warm partnerships, we both come together and make sure that our ideas and end goals are the same. When we do the cold calling to make those partnerships, we do most of the work to try to reel them in, sell what we're trying to get done, and then that tends to get them to add whatever services or whatever ideas that they have to make our students better. But with the warm ones, it's a mutual thing. But when we do the cold call and trying to get somebody to, come work with us, we do tend to do the majority of the work at the beginning.
Oh, I can. I'm sorry.
You got it? Okay.
So is this a formalized agreement through an MOU, or is there an exchange of funds or anything like that?
So we don't have an exchange of funds. So, depending on the organization, not all of them are formalized MOUs. Because when we do them, I have seen where they don't keep up their end of the bargain. And then that's a whole nother legal aspect that we have to go through to fight for what is actually in that MOU. So all of them aren't formalized MOUs.
Okay, because I was thinking we're from city colleges, so it might last a year or so to get that MOU done. Oh, I'm sorry. Oops. but okay, so that was one of the questions.
And I'll just clarify, ICC, we do have paid, the ones that are listed up there, there is a financial exchange. So I just want to clarify that we do have formal MOUs with everybody that I had on there, and there is a financial contribution that we make so that they're providing that service. But we also work with a lot that we don't have anything formal with. So it's not a matter of one or the other. We have all of it.
Last question. So with that, is there a data sharing agreement or? Okay.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. So part of our MOU, it spells out the services that they're going to provide. It spells out our responsibility, and then we get a release of information on all of the students, so that we can be sharing information back and forth. And then they provide monthly reports to us on who are they working with, what's going on, what services they've provided. Again, holding them to what was in the MOU.
Any other questions?
So the question was, what is your retention rate?
For our
You want me to go? Okay. Yeah. So at ICC, our retention rate, I know the completion rate. Completion rate now is wavering right around 65 to 70%. So I guess I would call that my retention rate as well. Some people will transition from like a readiness into another set of courses. Some people, I have one person, I'll say one. He started in readiness. He transitioned to our land tech, and he is now in an IT apprenticeship with a company, so getting his associate's degree. So I know that Representative Gordon Booth talked about pathways, and Dr. Cork Bailey talks about pathways. And so we really try to make sure that we get them on a pathway, and it doesn't have to be an incomplete and just out the door. So we work with them, yes, to get them employment, but we also work to continue to upskill. We have a great CNA to LPN pathway with a different grant to WEI. So, so completion rate for WEI students is right around 65 to 70%.
It's about the same for us too.
Somebody else had it. Somebody else had it.
Oh, I have it.
She's like, oh, I got the mic. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just thinking there's so much to think about. I was thinking about data, so this is kind of for everyone in the room, but how do you house your data? Do you use your college's, student data system, or if not, what do you do?
So we do house our data with our college, Olive Harvey College. We do house that, but then I also keep a separate collection of data for myself, dealing specifically with my WEI students, the programs that they're involved, if they're returning students, if they're completers. So I do have my own data that I keep as well.
We also have a data guy as well.
And I stand up because I'm short. All of our students are in our student database, but we also house it separately. Not because I don't trust it, but and I'm sure anybody who does quarterly reports and works with grants, it's not always the case where the student database is going to give you what that granting organization wants. So I started with spreadsheets. I'm still using spreadsheets, but we actually are in the process of creating a database that is going to put not just WEI, but all of our workforce students in one database. So for instance, that one student that was readiness, that then went to land tech, that now we're going to have him in there one time, and we're going to be able to track every program that he has been in as it relates to workforce. Now realize those programs he's also in are in the ICC student database because they're the credit programs, but we'll be able to report out on our workforce numbers because Dr. Cork Bailey I'm going to this event. Can you get me these numbers? And it's like, yes, but it's not necessarily in PeopleSoft. So I do track it differently, or I track it outside of that, but they are in both systems. And then we also have non-credit, which doesn't go into our PeopleSoft. So that's a whole other way that I have to track it. And we're working on putting them all in one. I'm very excited if you can't tell.
And then just lastly, CCC has a database where, we can have a student that I have at Wright, and then they can go to Olive Harvey for whatever classes they want to go. So we track them across all 7 community colleges.
I'm sorry, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very helpful and useful. Is that it? I think we're at time. PeopleSoft, yeah. So we are at time. Did you guys enjoy it? All right. Thank you so much for attending.